So beta-alanine, it gives you the tingles and makes you feel all funny and fuzzy on the inside. and on the inside, it combines with histidine, one of those amino acids we spoke about hours ago, it seems, and that forms carnosine in the body. Not carnitine, not creatinine, it's carnosine, I'm pronouncing that correctly, and that buffers against acid buildup.
Yeah.
And why would we want to buffer against acid buildup?
Well, then we can train longer.
Exactly. And we can smash it out at the gym. We can do a Ronnie Coleman with his leg presses from 60 million weights and that. Because the acid buildup stops you. You get that pain of acid.
Yeah.
And you kind of, and you have to stop. But you don't.
No, you don't.
You just keep going. Screw your acid. Screw your pH drops. Welcome to the ATP project. You got the giggles already. You've got.
I'm not giggles, but I'm Nic, but I got the giggles.
I know. And speaking of Nic, your name's Nicole. My name's Steve. We're naturopaths, and we are going to talk about all things amino acid today.
Yes, I know. How exciting!
Can I tell you the only joke I know?
Go.
It's clean.
You know a lot of jokes with the only amino acid joke.
The amino acid. It's what is it? What happens if you piss off a protein?
It's something about amino acid.
you get amino acid. Sorry, that's terrible.
I knew it had to be terrible.
But amino acids, I mean, it's funny. The amino acids has got one end is an amine group, NH2, so amine, and the other group has got a carboxylic acid at one end. And the rest of the middle part is all different and weird, and there's about 20 of them. And we're going to talk about them today.
We are. We're going to break them all down. So last week we talked about protein in general.
Yes.
And, all about how much protein you need.
Probably last month now.
Maybe last month. No. Yeah, that's right. It came out last week. Week. Well, actually, we don't know when this is going to be released. Sorry.
You know those TV shows where you have to pretend you're at a certain
That's right.
date?
All right. So we did a protein podcast last week. That'll be in the link if you want it.
Where are you pointing, Nic?
I don't know. We haven't even started already. We're going off the rails,
We're absolute pros. I think I've
pros.
done 400 odd of these, and I still kind of get like, what the hell am I doing here?
No one knows. You know what? I blame Matt. No one knows what goes on behind the cameras. So I blame him.
It's quite funny.
Yeah.
So amino acids, are they important or are they essential or are they useless?
Yeah, no, they're a little bit important. No, they're vitally important. So as we talked about in the protein podcast, which was came out recently, we
see the link below.
See the link below. This is what Matt's got to deal with. Anyway, so they're vitally important. So proteins, amino acids, protein is made up of amino.
She's got the giggles. Where's the tissue? She's crying.
Sorry. This is what happens when I don't.
Okay, so You've got proteins and they're made up of amino acids. There's about 20 of them. Yeah. About 8 are essential. Now, what does that mean if they're essential?
8 or 9?
Yeah, 8 or 9, that's right. It depends on the studies you're in.
Yeah.
So what do they mean by essential and non-essential?
So we have 9 essential amino acids. And we can't make them in our body, but we need them to survive. So we need to get them from our diet. Mm-hmm. And then we have 11 non-essential, which means that our body can make them.
Yes.
So we don't need to get them from our diet.
That's right. So there's all these 20 building blocks, we call them, of proteins. And proteins make up all sorts of tissues in your body. What biochemical structures that require protein? Because there's loads of those. They're all over the place. But give us a few.
So genes.
Yep.
Blood.
I've got my jeans on. So
I've got my jeans on today too, Steve.
You've got blue jeans on.
I don't usually wear jeans.
My blue jeans on. I'll put my...
Oh, God.
No, that's an old song.
Breaking into song already.
Yeah, that's a song.
Muscle, collagen, skin, nails, hair. So
everything.
Everything, basically.
It also makes up hormones, enzymes, nutrient carriers. So even cholesterol's got amino acids in it.
Yep. Everything.
It's everything. Just say everything.
Everything.
Another thing you've got down here that's very important is neurotransmitters in the brain.
Yeah, super important. And we're going to be talking about... sorry. I just can't talk.
You got a frog in your throat and it just crossed his legs. Oh, yeah.
What? I know.
Have you got the measles? Is that why you're scratching these spotty arms? What's with those?
We probably should, if anyone's watching, I don't think I've got some sort of a leper or something. I just got a puppy, and it's a German Shepherd.
So vicious.
Very vicious. No, he's not. But he's teething and he's biting me a lot. So I'm covered in scratches from my German Shepherd.
If you're
puppy.
listening to this, it looks like you've been.
It looks like I've gone to 10 rounds with a tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. So
even your fingers.
my fingers, my legs, yeah. But he's not being aggressive. He's just playing. He's playing, but he's got little needle teeth at the moment.
So why did you wear jeans today?
Because my legs are covered in scratches and bruises from the puppy.
It looks like measles from here, I'm afraid to say.
It does look like measles, but no, they're just little teeth marks.
Yeah, because I can see a bruise there. So that's
so he not only does he scratch, but he also clamps down. So, but he's
vicious dogs.
He's not vicious. He's a very cute little dog.
Not vicious.
He's just being a dog. They're herd animals. He's just trying to herd me. But
he's trying to hurt you, not herd you.
We're working on it. He's at puppy school now, so he's not going to be doing this anymore. So anyway, that's if anyone's watching. That's all.
And you need proline because proline makes hydroxyproline, which helps healing your skin after getting attacked by a German Shepherd.
That's right. That's why I'm downing lots of collagen at the moment, Steve.
Yes, collagen, great. So, but we're talking amino acids today, and there's a few different proteins in the body, like 40,000 different proteins.
different proteins, yeah.
So they're all made up of amino acids.
Yeah.
It's like,
they're all made from 20 amino acids, 40,000 different proteins.
God, this is
I
crazy.
know, it's amazing, isn't it?
All right, so we need these proteins in the body, of course, and you need them for all sorts of things. Even my wife Rebecca was listening to a podcast and she learnt about transferrin and how that requires protein. She said something to do with iron, and I said, yes, and then histidine, all this sort of stuff. So it's getting out there that these amino acids are very, very important. But can you name just some of the conditions that are associated with amino acid imbalances?
Oh my goodness! Well, let's just name a couple because the list is
it's horrendous.
Long. So depression, insomnia, cardiovascular disease, arthritis, anxiety.
I don't want to interrupt, but do you want to run through these one at a time? We can pinpoint the amino acids, and like you mentioned, depression and anxiety.
Yes,
there's an amino acid called tryptophan. It's an essential amino acid. In other words, we need to take it. We can't make it. You need to take it, and that makes serotonin, which helps with depression and anxiety.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So allergies.
Allergies, of course.
So histidine.
Histamine.
It's histamine. So people associate with histamines with allergies.
Yep.
So anxiety and panic attacks, things like that. Serotonin.
Yes.
Can be involved in that.
Of course.
As well. Here's one for you: bile insufficiency.
Oh yeah. That's taurine, isn't it?
Yeah. So taurine. Choline. Those types of things that help with bile acids.
And taurine is one we can make, but it's a bit funny, isn't it? Because it's conditionally essential.
Yes.
Do you want to explain what conditionally essential means?
Yeah, so conditionally essential means that under certain conditions, our body won't make it. So
make enough of it.
So we need to have more of it, and things like malnutrition, illness, inborn genetic errors, things like that.
Vegans.
Vegans, people on plant-based diets. Yes.
Yeah, because taurine's found in animal proteins.
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. What else?
Pick another one.
Insomnia we talked about.
Well, yeah. Well, serotonin turns into melatonin, which helps you sleep.
Yep.
So that's very important too. And insomnia can be caused by all sorts of things, but this is just one thing.
Yeah.
What else you got there?
Thyroid conditions.
Thyroid conditions. All right.
Tyrosine.
Tyrosine makes T4.
Yeah.
T4 is the thyroid hormone and turns into T3 via deiodinase. So T3 is the active thyroid hormone. Yep. So if you're not having enough tyrosine, your thyroid won't work properly.
That's right. Yeah.
And it also, tyrosine also makes adrenaline, dopamine. So all these neurotransmitters and hormones are all made from these amino acids.
Yeah, that's why it's vitally important. Proteins are important.
What else you got there?
We have got low libido.
Low libido.
That's a pretty common one as well.
That's a really common one.
Yeah.
Look, low libido is of course can be caused by low testosterone. Testosterone's made from cholesterol. Cholesterol has got an LDL or HDL, and the P, there's also a protein in there, lipoproteins, LDL, HDL. Amazing.
That's what we say if you've got low cholesterol, and a lot of women have this low cholesterol because they have low fats and things like that, low body weight. They have issues with hormone production because they don't have enough cholesterol. So cholesterol is very important. So
so many. It's just so many here.
There's so many. So estrogen imbalances. So then it comes back to
methylation
as well comes into play there.
So we're thinking methionine, even taurine, that too. But great. And you've got even things like fatigue.
Yeah.
And high blood pressure. High blood pressure can be caused by all sorts of things, but again, it can be low amino acids.
Yeah.
You can
taurine's very good for blood pressure.
Yeah. A lot of the formulas with magnesium have taurine in it as an adjunct too.
Yeah.
You've got all sorts of things going on here. It's absolutely incredible.
Viral infections.
Viral infections, yeah.
So lysine.
Lysine, yeah, because you may have gone to a pharmacy and you see these cold sore things and they've got lysine in it. And that antagonises another amino acid called arginine.
Yes.
And so you have to sort of balance those up. But then again, let's say you've got, we mentioned high blood pressure before. Arginine's very good for that because it dilates the blood vessels and can lower it.
Yeah.
So we're not picking on arginine. It's not pick on arginine day today. Arginine's quite good for you.
That's right. Here's one that you love, Steve-O, migraines.
Yep. Migraines, yes.
Yeah.
Look, there's so many amino acids that are involved in your brain, but people just think it's your muscles.
Yeah.
And there's so many amino acids. I mean, you've got to remember that migraines are caused by over vasodilation in the brain. And the thing in the brain that constricts your blood vessels is serotonin. And in fact, if you took a triptan, which is a migraine medication, it knocks out, it squeezes the blood vessels back to normal. And in the last 20 years since the triptans came out, and I was speaking to a neurologist about this, his practice has halved in migraines because they've just taken them out of the equation largely.
Yeah.
Still a lot of people with migraines, but these things are life-saving medicines. Before that, it was ergots and opioids just to get rid of the pain. Now they know what causes it.
Yeah.
They're squashing the blood vessels in the brain, which is incredible. And that's serotonin, that's tryptophan.
Yep.
Amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing. So yeah, so many different symptoms and things can all come back to amino acid deficiencies.
And poor wound healing you've got here.
Poor wound healing, I know.
Well, you're not poor.
I'm not. I'm just. They start to heal and then he bites me again. So. I mean, he doesn't bite me. He's just.
It doesn't bite you.
He's just playing.
He just attacks
They
you.
have their teething, so they need to relieve the pressure.
I'm going to ask you a question. You don't have to answer this, but does he attack your boyfriend as well?
Steve, you know the answer to that.
Yeah.
He does not. He does not.
So he just doesn't like you.
Well, I have bought him every toy and he loves me. That's half the problem.
So he attacks you.
Yeah, he attacks
I
me.
love this person so much, I'm going to attack them.
See, I don't yell at him, so that's the difference. So he can get away with it. But I've bought him about 30 different toys of every type you can get.
Of course you have.
That you can chew, that you can pull, you can chug, everything.
Yep.
But he still prefers the arm.
Your arms.
My arms.
And your ankles.
And my ankles and my calves. My back and
your back.
Anything you can get grab.
Jeez, I would be very careful walking around nutty around here, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
God, blimey.
Yeah. No, he prefers the clothes because he can grab the clothes and start pulling.
Glad you said that.
The clothes. Anyway, he's a very cute little thing. So.
He is adorable.
Yeah.
Even he's got a floppy ear. It's still.
Yeah, he hasn't come up.
One ear is good though.
Yeah, one comes. See, German Shepherds, one will come up and then go down. It'll come up and go down, and then they'll both pop up, and that'll be it.
Oh, really?
So they go up and down a little bit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, they don't. They're not born with pointy ears. German
Shepherds.
Shepherds.
He just looks vicious anyway.
He's totally vicious. Yeah.
All right, so Nicole, you've been mentioning these essential amino acids. Yeah. What are these essential amino acids? Let's go through them. What are they?
Okay.
Name one.
So isoleucine.
Isoleucine.
Yeah.
Well, now that's an interesting one. That's one of the three branched
amino acids. Yeah.
Ooh, hang on.
Which we can talk about.
I'm going to go show my biceps again.
Don't throw that bicep out there again, Steve.
No, you'll just get distracted by my rippling muscles.
I know.
Muscles. If you're listening to this, I've got massive arms.
He struggles to get through the door.
And if you're watching this, you know I'm lying. But branched chain amino acids, that's leucine, isoleucine, and valine. They're all essential amino acids.
They are. Yeah.
So you mentioned isoleucine. I mean, they perform amazing roles in the body. But what do the branched chains do?
Yeah, so they're metabolized by muscle tissue.
They are.
Yeah. So predominantly valine, isoleucine, and leucine, as you said.
Yep.
Valine deficiency can be associated with neurological disorders.
Ooh.
Isoleucine deficiency can be associated with muscle tremors.
Oh. Okay, so that's a bit scary. So you may not be getting enough in your diet and you get these tremors and people think you got Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And it could be a simple amino acid deficiency.
Now, that's interesting. Let me ask you this, Steve. So you know marathon runners and you see them get to the end of the end of the marathon and they collapse. They're just the muscle that they cannot control the muscles. I wonder if that's a lot of that could be related to that depletion of your branch chains.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because the last marathon I did and the fastest I've ever done, so don't laugh, but it's quite slow compared to the average.
You know what? Let's just put aside that and the fact that you actually did a marathon, where most people don't.
I did finish it, 3:52, and that's a long time to be running, let me tell you.
Well, I don't know how anyone can run more than... Yeah, I don't know how anyone could do a marathon.
There was a marathon runner recently as the world record holder. There 2 hours and 30-something seconds, and he passed away. And I haven't researched this for this podcast, but he passed away. I don't know how or what he did.
Car crash.
Oh, was it a car crash?
Oh,
there you go. I just saw.
So what
such
didn't
and
pass
such
away in the race?
No, a car crash. It's absolutely incredible. But yeah, at the end of it, during my last race, I had electrolytes, and guess what else I put in the electrolyte drink? Branched chain amino acids, because I knew that they would become depleted after 4 hours of running like an idiot on the Gold Coast there, which is by the way, if you're planning on doing a marathon, don't do it.
No,
it's
don't
just
do
a bad idea.
I don't understand it. Anyone would want to run for 26 kilometres?
Oh, I wish.
Oh, 26 miles. Sorry.
That's right.
Sorry,
26.3 miles. And that makes a difference
so
when
what's
you're...
that, like 50 kilometres or something, isn't it?
42.
Oh, God.
Clearly,
I'm not a marathon runner.
You times it by 1.61.
Okay, there you go.
And that was the original distance that the original marathon was run by this guy who had to go back and tell the Greeks of some invading.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that. And that's how he ran to marathon. That's how they named it, right? And he ran and then, of course, died. And so they honoured him. So they decided to all do it.
Well, the year after they honoured him.
Let's give it all a go and see if we can survive.
There was just 3 or 4 warriors afterwards. And I didn't know this until I was standing on the start race of this marathon that I ran in 2015.
That the first person that ran a marathon actually died.
Yeah. I was going to pull out at that point.
Just like, now let me rethink my choice here.
But no, it's a bad idea. Yeah. It's really a hard thing to do.
Look, I take my hat off to people who can run a marathon because
they're
I
idiots.
don't. Yes.
It's absolute idiots.
Cannot even fathom it.
Because you run, and you know, where I did it on Southport, you run from Southport down to Burleigh, and people don't know where this is, but you run 15 kilometres in one direction, 15 kilometres back, past the finish line.
I'd struggle.
Oh.
Because once you know that, that's like when I used to do a lot of walking, and I'd walk for hours.
Yeah.
But if I had to walk and then walk back and then walk out, you can't.
You can't.
Because you're like, oh, no, just stop now.
It's like running a marathon around your block. Let's say your block is 1 kilometre.
Yeah.
Actually, we had a guy on this podcast ages ago called Bo, and he ran a marathon. He ran a mile every hour for 24 hours.
That's crazy.
And he did it around his block.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
And it's just
I'd be like, no, I'm just...
How do you do that? I mean, that's a mind thing.
That's completely a mind
running around a track, I couldn't run a marathon around a track, but run it. And you do. Your muscles at the end of it are absolutely screwed. Yeah. And so I had more branched chain amino acids, went home, had some collagen, and then went to sleep. Yeah. And then woke up and went to swim in the pool. Not to do laps and because I'm Superman, just to recover it. Yeah. And I felt all right. I was sore as shit because I was pretty old then too. I was in my late 40s.
Oh, well, God, if you're in the late 40s, Steve, then I wouldn't be attempting it now at your age.
And anyone over 50 is super old, aren't they?
Yeah, it's super old, Steve. Super old. 50's okay. It's just older than 50.
Yeah, that's right. So there's the branched chain amino acids. They're really important. They stimulate muscle growth. They stimulate a thing called mTOR in the body, mammalian target of rapamycin complex, and that boosts. That's like a switch that switches on muscle gain. So all the bodybuilders, love on this sort of they love the branched chains.
That mTOR activated all day.
All day and all night and everything. Yeah. So what's another arena? What about lysine? That's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, lysine. So people might associate that with particular viruses.
Yeah.
So taking lots of lysine can help to suppress some viruses.
Yep.
So particularally the herpes family.
Herpes family,
Very well known for that.
But it's also essential.
It is essential. Yeah, it's one of the 9 essentials.
And methionine?
Yeah, methionine. That's a good one.
Yeah, you were talking about COMT before, catechol-methyltransferase.
We were talking about COMT before, yes.
So it's a methyl group.
Yeah, yes.
So that's where we get our methyl groups from.
It is, yeah. So we all know about the MTHFR and the polymorphisms and methylation. We've talked about that in the past, how important that is. And
well, you can get it.
Methylation.
And this is beyond the scope of this, but it is an amino acid. So it's there's an amino acid in a body called homocysteine, which is quite toxic in high amounts. And when you add a methyl donor to that, it turns it back to methionine.
Yes. So
eventually, and you get B12, put a methyl group to that and stick it on homocysteine, and it turns back to methionine, which is where you want.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, all that. Now phenylalanine.
Yes.
This is a weird one. This was in my day of training in the 90s. DL, which is there's two, we won't go to the isomers of amino acids, but DL-phenylalanine was used to treat pain conditions. But phenylalanine's used for all sorts of things now. It's a precursor for all sorts of things, but it's essential.
It is essential. Yep, it is. Tryptophan, as you said, essential
Tryptophan,
as well.
another essential amino acid,
really
and that makes our brain chemical serotonin.
Yep.
Then we've got valine.
And valine.
And then we've got this weird group of amino acids which are conditionally essential. So you sort of can make them, but you may need to ingest them.
And under some circumstances, as we said, malnutrition.
Yep.
Starvation,
Yep.
illness, possibly, depletion, that sort of thing. So arginine, glutamine, which a lot of people know, and these are probably up there with my two favourite amino acids is glycine and taurine.
Yeah, now glycine is the most simple amino acid.
Yeah.
And a lot of people associate glycine with sedation of the brain, nice relaxing of the brain. And it's also bound with other minerals like magnesium.
Yep.
And magnesium diglycinate or bisglycinate, what's the new name for it, is a common form of magnesium, which is really good for you, help you relax and everything.
Yeah, it is my favourite form of magnesium. One of, that and citrate.
Yeah, the citrate ones are good.
Top.
Yeah, they are good.
So, but yes, and we'll talk a bit more about glycine and taurine and what other things they can do because they're great amino acids. So.
Well, what would you in clinic? When would you use glycine and taurine?
For different reasons. So glycine, one for the nervous system function, detoxification.
Of course, glycination.
Yeah.
I just thought of that.
Yeah, really
good on
good
you,
for
Nick.
detox.
Great you came. I forgot about glycination.
Wall Street.
Yeah, good on you.
Yes, so that's
forgot about that
really
one.
good, and it's a nice gentle detox as well. So it's
because you stick your fatty your fat soluble toxins to it, and it becomes water soluble. When you stick amino acids to a fat, it becomes water soluble in the body.
Yeah.
And things you can transport the fats around the body then, like cholesterol. So glycine, you attach it to this fat soluble thing, and then you've got methylation, glucuronidation, and glutathionation are the other detox pathways.
Yeah.
Amazing, eh?
Yeah, so it's a really good one. Yeah, so I like it. I use it a lot. Use it for sleep. That sort of thing. As I said, nervous system, I throw it in all the time.
Yeah.
I take a citrate in the morning and a glycinate, magnesium citrate in the morning and a magnesium glycinate at night.
Ah.
Yeah.
Clever girl.
Yeah. So, and taurine, I love taurine. I use that a lot.
And what do you use that for?
What don't I use it for?
Yeah.
Cardiovascular health, as I said, so reducing blood pressure.
Yeah.
It's really good for that. It's really good for bile acid production, that sort of thing, helping with that.
That's the brown stuff that comes out of your liver that goes in your gallbladder that helps digest fats, for those who don't know what bile is.
Yes. Really important. A lot of people with issues with SIBO have low bile or bile insufficiency.
Yes, because that regulates the microbiome.
Yep, does.
SIBO is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. And here's one that people may not know. And I used to love this because I used to be a swimmer. I wasn't a swimmer, but I swam a lot. I loved swimming.
You used to swim for hours.
Hours on end when I lived out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, that's all there was to do. I'd swim for 2-3 hours a day. Lap swim. And that's where it's different than running around a block. I could go back and forth in a pool, lap swim up and down for hours.
You're perving on a good-looking guy next to you or something. What do you do with your mind?
I couldn't see anything. I just had nothing. I would just swim. Back and forth. I loved it. Love it. But it's a lot of chlorine in the pools. Yeah. And chlorine's not good for your thyroid.
That's right.
So chlorine.
Chlorine is a halide, which means it's in group 7 of the periodic table. It's for the chemists out there. So chlorine is with bromine, and that's very bad for your thyroid too, and iodine, because they compete with each other. All the 7s compete with each other. Group 7 in the periodic table.
Exactly. So people that have high chlorinated water, which we do at home, so to filter it. But if you're swimming in it, also you're absorbing it through your skin.
Yes.
And have you heard people that have chlorine allergies?
No.
Some people have
you've heard of
allergies,
it.
Yeah. So there's that, and also if you're absorbing a lot of taurine can detoxify chlorine.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
So this is really interesting because chlorine in pools is different to the sodium chloride.
Yes.
And what you do with pools is you add sodium chloride, which is fine, but then they run it through. They add electrons to the chlorine and strip electrons off them, so they turn it from Cl minus, if you think of the chemistry, into Cl2. So you have to take 2 electrons off that to neutralise it, and that's what the electricity does, and turns it into Cl2, which is a gas. and that's why you can smell chlorine.
Yeah, okay.
And it boils through the water and kills all the bugs in it.
Yes.
And you might think, oh, that's good, and it kind of is.
It is, but it isn't.
Then,
It's not
then
good
we
for
go
us
swimming.
so much. Yeah.
And especially 2 or 3 hours in there.
Yeah, it's a lot. So, I mean, I never had significant issues with my thyroid at that point. But I love swimming. I'd swim again now, but I just don't like the chlorine factor. But you can get magnesium pools, and you can get these new ones. My brother's got one, and it's like a little, I'm probably going to describe it completely wrong, and we're going off track. It's a little electrode. So you put one big tablet of something in your pool, and that's the only time you ever put chemicals in it, and then you've got this little electrode thing that reacts to the water and stops bacteria. So there's no chemicals in it.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's some pretty cool things out there now.
Jeez, I know they use bromide. That's more toxic to bugs.
Yeah.
So they usually reserve that for spas because spas are around.
Don't go to spa.
Yeah, well.
Not unless it's your own spa. No one else has been in it.
Yeah, because
it's a breeding ground of...
things happen in spas too.
Things do happen in spas, yeah.
I don't know what. Maybe...
I don't know.
What we're talking about is eating food in the spa. That's right. Yeah, there. Nothing else.
Back in the old good old 90s, the spa parties, or was it the 80s, your parents having spa parties, and they're like, guys, you go to bed now.
Yeah, it was the 80s. I remember.
My mum listens to this, and she had some spa parties.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you know, the adults would go out and have... No, actually, I take that back. I take that back. No, they weren't those types of parties. Sorry, Mum, that's not what I meant.
Your mum listens to this, doesn't she?
She does listen to these, yeah. No, that's not what I meant, but they'd all hang out in the spa. They're different, completely different. Oh, my God, I'm going to shut up now.
That hang out in the spas.
There was probably two different types of spa parties. There was the ones where you just hang out and you eat canapes and chit-chat and drink wine, and there's probably a whole other type of spa party, which is what we were... My mum never did those. Never.
Never?
No.
Nah.
No, Mum never did those. No, she didn't. Mum, you didn't. That's okay. We didn't. It's moving along.
These are the 80s, you know. Things are... You remember that? You remember the old... no, it was more 70s where you put your car keys in a bowl.
Oh, that's a whole other level of... Yeah, that's...
Quick, something about amino acids. What were you saying? What were you saying about amino acids? Oh, God. All
right. Right along.
No,
yeah.
So it's amazing what these things do, but what factors can really impact the level of amino acids in the body? I mean, okay, let's say I think I'm eating a good diet. I'm eating meats and I'm eating a bit of this and fish, and their proteins have amino acids, and the body can digest them and break them down. What other factors are going on that could deplete my amino acids or make sure I'm not absorbing the amino acids?
So we did go touched on this in the protein podcast, but it's super important to touch on again is poor digestive function.
Poor such as?
So hypochlorhydria.
Did you call me a hypochondriac?
Not recently, Steve.
No.
That's outside the podcast. No. So that means low stomach acid production, basically.
Hypo. When you hear the word hypo, it means low.
Yeah.
Chlorhydria, it's hydrochloric acid in your stomach. So hypochlorhydria, low stomach acid. Just for people who are breaking down that.
Break it down, yeah.
What else?
Fast transit time.
Which means?
It means you're pooping a lot.
Yes, that's it.
So you want to have sort of around about a 24-hour transit time.
Yeah.
Essentially. So you're giving the nutrients enough time to go through and be absorbed before the excess comes out. But if you're pooping, maybe 5, 6, 7 times a day, which some people do, it's too fast. So you're not going to have the opportunity to absorb a lot of these nutrients and amino acids out of your food that you're eating.
Yeah, that's true.
Proteins that you're having, sorry. Here's one for you, Steve, that's very common.
Yep.
Proton pump inhibitors.
Wow. So they're like an antacid, like brand names Nexium, those sort of things, like we can say that.
Yeah.
Protons are actual acid. H plus ions, which is acid, is a proton. Yeah. Inside an atom, you've got a proton, nucleus, and electron. H plus has no electrons or no neutrons, just has a proton, and that's what acid is, a proton. So proton pump inhibitors are antacids, which everybody's, you're right, loads of people are on. And this does my head in a bit because you get a bit of digestive upset, and that's one of the first things that are prescribed to you.
Yeah, well, the amount of clients that have said to me, I get a bit of heartburn every now and then, but I just get some Gaviscon or some quickies or whatever, those types of things. But it's a symptom of something else, generally. But, so many people are on proton pump inhibitors, so they're not going to be able to break down their proteins at all to be able to absorb the amino acids. So that's really common. And I have seen in the past, not for a while, seen a client been on them for a long time, but The client, a person that I saw years ago, had been on one for 24 years.
Oh.
He had no nails, no hair, no eyelashes. He just completely depleted because he couldn't absorb anything.
So it looked like Voldemort out of with no hair anyway.
Yeah. So
jeez.
Yeah, really.
That'd be terrible.
Oh, awful.
Not terrible.
Just not well. He wasn't. The underlying cause wasn't being addressed, which is no fault of his own, but professionals weren't addressing that. So, but that's what a lot of GPs, not all, but a lot of them. That's the first sort of solution is to put them on a proton pump inhibitor if they're having a lot of heartburn, reflux, that type of thing. So, and
I haven't checked this, but I think it's over the counter now.
It is over the counter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And you can get a 24-hour Nexium now.
Oh,
yeah. So.
And how long does the 24-hour Nexium last for?
Let me think.
All day.
Yeah.
And all night.
Yeah, and then they take another one the next day.
Oh.
So that's not good.
Now, without picking on me, what else can deplete
well, Steve,
amino
you might
acids?
know about this.
What's that?
Aging, Steve.
Oh, I know about this. I'm an expert.
You're an expert.
Expert in aging.
Yeah. So as we get older, our stomach acid and enzyme production does decrease.
Yeah.
So we have to be more mindful to make sure we're stimulating.
Everything decreases as we age. It sucks.
I know, it does suck. Well, does it suck, Steve? I don't know.
You would know when you're a 26-year-old.
Yeah, I was 28 the other week, but now I'm 26.
I'm
going in the right direction.
Yeah,
I'm 21 next week.
I'll be 55 in a couple of weeks.
Wow, that's
it's absolutely freaky, isn't it?
Yeah, that is freaky. Well, I am 50. That's full disclosure.
Oh, you've let the cat out of the bag.
I'm 50. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Let's be honest.
No, it's not.
Anyway.
You look very young, except for your wrists.
I know.
They look all spotty and attacked.
I know, I do. I look like that. Yes, anyway. That's why I'm hiding my hands under the desk this week.
He says, well, Flatface never attacked me.
No, Flatface, no. He probably couldn't get his teeth out because his face was too
He
flat.
actually lost a few fangs in the early days.
Did he?
I had to get them removed.
Oh, God.
So, because the flat face means their teeth are funny. What are you laughing at Flatface for?
Steve showed me a picture of Flatface before. I mean, Flatface was Steve's and Beck's cat.
Yes.
That's no longer with us.
No longer with us.
But he was a very unique looking creature.
There you go. Beck, you listening to that? Very unique looking.
Yeah. Not ugly.
Not ugly
unique,
at all.
Unique.
No one's ever said that.
No. So, excessive exercise, Steve.
Oh, that's me too.
Yeah, no. Oh, you're doomed. You're doomed.
I'm doomed on this one.
You are.
It's like, but when you say excessive, I mean, you got to remember there's people out there who think that excessive exercise might be, doing a half-hour gym session.
Yeah, no, we're talking something more like marathon runners.
Oh, yes, well, that's me again.
That's you again.
Look, it's true. You can really do damage to your body if you're doing a lot of stuff. Probably like you're swimming. Oh, you were pretty healthy then.
I was pretty healthy then, yeah.
But
I have done excessive exercise in the past, though, and that's caused issues.
Yeah, I remember.
5 hours a day.
I've seen those photos. I couldn't recognise you.
No.
Wow. What else?
Injury.
Like you?
Yes. This is just what do they call it?
Injuries.
Injuries.
That's what they call it.
Injuries, so that a lot of times injuries can cause a lot of depletions as well, so depleting proteins as well. Yep. Here's one for you, autoimmune conditions.
No, it's me again.
Yeah. Oh, no, Steve, you're right.
It's sort of like everything on this body.
Yeah.
It's like, but autoimmune disease, because they make the immune system made of protein.
Yes.
So even people really sick, it's like you need more protein.
Yeah, you get much higher turnover. And infections as well, much higher turnover of those proteins needed for repair. So that's another one. Toxins in the body, which again, super common. So mold toxins, environmental toxins, things like that. People who have poor detoxification. So as we were saying earlier, that can be part of it. Nutrient deficiencies, obviously, part of it as well. And genetic polymorphisms, which is super common as well. We all have different polymorphisms in different genes.
Things.
So. So there's some of the factors that can cause the levels of amino acids to be suboptimal or impact our ability to absorb them.
Oh, okay. Weird. So that's very interesting. So we've talked about some of the amino acids. I'm going to hit you with some weird ones though.
Yeah.
Because they are amino acids, but they're not of the 20 we've spoken of. And they're not essential. They're not. But one of them that a lot of the people around here take is beta-alanine.
Yeah.
What the hell's that?
So everyone knows beta-alanine and the tingles.
Makes you feel all tingly. It does.
It does make you feel pins and needles.
About 3 grams when I first took it, I thought I was having a stroke.
Yeah.
But yeah, even though I thought, this stuff will give me, I've heard tingles.
Yeah.
But you really feel flush and
it's not a nice
like you're embarrassed, like the first time you've met a girl or something. You know, it's really your cheeks are hot as it's amazing.
Yeah, I got really itchy and I just didn't like it. I was the first time I ever had it, and I was probably in my 30s the first time I ever had it.
That many
That long ago.
was around then.
I know, it was a long time ago, back in the 1800s. Now it's not like used to.
Yes.
And the person that gave it to me thought it would be funny to give me like a triple dose.
Oh.
So I was itchy and pins and needles all over. It was horrendous. Didn't like it.
So why on earth do we take this stuff? Why do athletes take beta-alanine? It forms something in the body. What is it? What does it do?
Carnosine, Steve.
Carnosine, yes. Not carnitine.
Not carnitine.
Carnosine. So beta-alanine, it gives you the tingles and makes you feel all funny and fuzzy on the inside. and on the inside, it combines with histidine, one of those amino acids we spoke about hours ago, it seems, and that forms carnosine in the body, not carnitine, not creatinine, it's carnosine, I'm pronouncing that correctly, and that buffers against acid buildup.
Yeah.
And why would we want to buffer against acid buildup?
Well, then we can train longer.
Exactly. And we can smash it out at the gym. We can do a Ronnie Coleman with his leg presses from 60 million weights and that. Because the acid buildup stops you. You get that pain of acid.
Yeah.
And you kind of, and you have to stop. But you don't.
No, you don't.
You just keep going, screw your acid, screw your pH drops.
Yeah.
pH is the measure of acid.
That's right.
And pH, when it drops, acid goes up.
Yeah.
It's a negative log scale, the P. You won't get the nerdy stuff, but low pH means acid.
That's
right.
The
acid in your stomach's got a pH of 1, neutral is 7, super alkaline, like the stuff you use for Drano or sodium hydroxide, you pour down the sink. That's to clean the drain, not just for pouring down the sink. Sounds like we're wasting it. I'll go buy it from Bunnings and pour it down the sink. That's what you do.
Yeah.
And because alkalinity destroys tissues.
Yeah.
So if you've got, say you've got long dark hair and you shower and you clog up the shower.
I don't know who would do that, Steve.
No, I wouldn't know anyone around here that would do that.
My partner would never say that my hair's everywhere.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I do lose a lot of hair.
So what can digest hair is very strong alkaline.
Now see, I never knew that. I never knew that the things you pour down the drain were actually alkaline, not acids.
Oh, no, it's alkaline
So
because acids destroy pipes.
Yeah.
It destroys metal, but alkalinity doesn't destroy. Yeah.
Think about clearly another point.
So, I just don't want to go to your place and tip acid down the sink.
drain? Okay.
Because
acid down the drain, check.
Yeah. But our alkaline doesn't destroy acid. But it's corrosive to humans. We hate alkalinity in our body.
That's right. So you don't want to be too alkaline.
No.
You also don't want it too acidic. You want to be sitting somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Our blood's about 7.4 on average, which is just slightly alkaline of neutral. That's what our blood is always.
Yeah.
Unless we go into ketoacidosis, you're severe diabetic, you can drop to 7.1 and then around there you die.
Yeah.
So,
if you look at bicarb on your blood test too, that can give you an indication of what your acidity and that type of thing is.
Absolutely, because bicarb dilutes acids.
Yeah.
If you add acid to bicarb, you get water and carbon dioxide.
Yep.
Have you ever burped when you had a quick ease? Not that I'd suggest anyone take that, but that's the acid being neutralised.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but don't tip acid down your sink.
No, people don't do that, especially if you're on septic.
Oh, my God, it gets worse. Yeah, I mean, and you can buy acid. You can buy pool acid, which is a safe acid called hydrochloric acid. It's
we make hydrochloric.
Yeah, we've got it in our stomach. It sits there all the time. So you put it in your pool because anyway, so your pool becomes alkaline over time because, of course, it sits in concrete, which is alkaline. Yeah. So, anyway, getting off topic there. So we want to buffer acid in our body, and it's a really good... Carnosine's also an anti-aging product, so really good for the body as well. So that's where we get our beta-alanine from, which is very interesting. Now, I guess probably one of the more... one of the... What sort of... Okay, so let's say people that want to take beta-alanine for training. What sort of dosages? What would you recommend dosage-wise?
So I've got about between 2 to 5 grams.
Yeah.
Everyone's a little bit different. Some people find it a little bit more uncomfortable to have the higher dose. So you find the right dose.
I know. It's really a tricky one. It really is. It really is a tricky one because you've got to take it to your tolerance and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Now we've got a lot of amino acids to go, so we'll sort of we've got to get through this bit quicker because there's loads of them. There may be a part 2, by the way, for this because there's 20 amino acids. We can't just say, oh, there's only 10. Don't worry about the rest of them. But arginine, let's start with we'll start from A. What does arginine, what does it do in the body? Where is it primarily active? Where's it active in the body?
So arginine is used primarily for muscle gain.
Yes.
Exercise, that sort of stuff. Yep. And also used for cardiovascular health as well.
Very much so.
Because it causes vasodilation.
It does. A little molecule inside your blood vessels called nitric oxide. It was the molecule of the year in 1984.
Was it?
How the hell do I remember that shit? What? How boring am I at dinner party?
Do they seriously have a molecule?
They do have a molecule of the year.
Oh, my goodness. But do they get a little crown and a
little
flowers,
molecule?
Little miniature bunch of flowers.
Yeah, and it got up and gave a speech and just went, no!
Because around with the molecule, traps for talk show up at events and things.
Yeah, I can only say one word, no, because it's NO.
Yeah, got that, Steve.
But anyway, NO or nitric oxide, hey, it can save your life, this stuff.
I know, Steve.
And if you match it up with glycerine, okay, you get nitroglycerin. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I have.
It explodes.
I was going to say, it's like they make bombs out of it.
Make bombs out of it, but also you can put it under your tongue if you're having a heart attack and can save your life.
Oh, yes.
And, recently lost a friend to a possible heart attack. So, this is a life-saving drug.
Yeah.
So you give it under the tongue and it releases nitric oxide into the body, into the bloodstream, the blood vessels dilate, your heart attack's aborted. So, but arginine is the building block to nitric oxide.
Yes.
And I'm sure it was the molecule of the year in 1984.
I just love that.
How it may not be. But it's also very good for growth hormone production. So we have a lot of gym people listening to here. So it combines with another amino acid, ornithine, and that suppresses somatostatin, which releases human growth hormone release. So it can be used for that sort of stuff.
I used to use arginine years ago.
Yeah, what did you use it for?
Muscle growth.
Oh, that, okay.
When I was training. Yeah, that was one of the ones. I did use different amino acids from time to time. But yeah, I don't anymore. But yeah, I did for a little while.
You're already rippling muscle. You don't need any more.
Totally, yeah. Totally, Steve, yeah.
It's quite incredible. So people think about growth hormone as being the holy grail of growth, and it is, but you can make your own.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible?
It is amazing, isn't it?
So really, really important molecule, arginine.
Yeah.
Now it's found in things like nuts. It's very high in nuts, particularly peanuts.
Yes.
Which is a legume.
Yes.
So that's a really good one. But you can actually take huge doses of this stuff because it's not toxic, of course. But you don't want to take too much at once because what happens if you take 10 grams or more at once?
You might get diarrhea, Steve.
Yes.
So you might want to go too high.
Yeah.
So around 6 grams a day is a pretty good dose.
Now, it's also a treatment for erectile dysfunction.
Yes,
okay?
That's right. Yes.
So about 5 grams a day for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good one for that too.
Yeah.
And, because nitric oxide is in all your blood vessels, including the ones in your penis.
Well, that's right. It's very vascular, isn't it?
It's very vascular. I hate talking about this. But we have to because it's important. People.
It's all part of the human body.
It's part of my, not yours, but
not mine. Well, no, that's right, not mine.
but my human body.
That's right.
Let's
move on. I don't know what's happening here. What's happening?
Okay, I'm going to give you another amino acid that didn't feature in our top 20.
It didn't feature in our top 20.
But it's such a cool one. Acetyl L-Carnitine.
Yeah.
What the hell's that? What does it do? Tell us a bit about it.
So the body can convert acetyl L-Carnitine to carnitine and back the other way, vice versa. So acetyl L-Carnitine is probably best known as it sort of liberates fatty acids to use as energy.
Yeah. There's a big meta-analysis published in 2020 or something where they looked at 37 studies and they had 2 grams of acetyl L-Carnitine and they found and carnitine. They found that it does burn fat because it acts like a mitochondrial shovel. Gets fat from your blood, puts it into the mitochondria to be burned as energy.
Yeah.
That's what it's famous for.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's a good one, and we use it here, and it's got a lot of things like that. But what else is it good for? Acetyl is a bit of a thing. It gets into the brain, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's actually very good for Alzheimer's disease.
Forgot that. Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, Steve, he's on a roll today.
I'm on a roll today.
Dad jokes.
Yeah.
And you're not even a dad. That's him.
So really interesting. Alzheimer's disease, which of course is dementia or later life.
Or
it's a type of dementia.
Type 3 diabetes, they're calling it now.
Type 3 diabetes. Yeah, we did a podcast on that 1 billion years ago on type 3 diabetes, which is Alzheimer's.
We'll revisit that one day, maybe.
It really is interesting. So acetyl L-Carnitine, 2 grams, really good. It's also very good for prostate inflammation.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that until you put it in your notes there.
I wrote these notes weeks ago.
It's like, wow, I didn't.
Thanks, Steve.
But it's look, it's really, really good for me because. Are you going to cry again?
Sorry. I knew it was going to be a train wreck when we walked in here this morning. No. Anyway, let's move along.
No, we're going to talk about it.
I actually, there is something I'm going to premise or precaution or caution.
Caution?
Caution.
Precaution me away.
Sorry.
You got Matt crying.
I've got Matt going now. He's controlling everything too, so he has to be on the ball.
Wait, there's a precaution. What is it?
People with thyroid issues. Yeah. So if you have underactive thyroid or hypothyroidism, just be a little bit cautious of it. Don't have to avoid it altogether. And there's a lot of new studies out now showing that a little bit of acetyl L-Carnitine actually can be beneficial for the thyroid, but you want to sort of stick with around that 500 milligrams a day. So if you have underactive thyroid. Okay. So if you have hyperthyroidism, you can jack it up.
Oh, good.
Because it will have to
slow it down
a little bit.
Oh, that's good. So also it's great for the prostate. It's good for sperm.
Yep.
It's getting a bit of a theme going here. It seems to be good for men with our...
well, that's true. It does seem to be, yeah.
Yeah.
Related testosterone deficiency.
Yes, it's great for testosterone, sperm. I mean, this is pretty cool stuff. This is pretty cool stuff.
It is pretty cool stuff.
Great for cognition too. So you're going to think an older man would be good.
Well, there you go.
There you go. I'll really get on to that one too.
Yeah.
And look, it's great. It's got some really great stuff going on there. Now I'm going to hit you with another one. We're up to the C's now.
Up to C's, yep.
God. Yeah, here it is. Will I skip ahead?
Choline, yes. Steve.
Choline, yeah. Let's talk about choline. Now choline is really good. It's found in meats.
Yeah. So eggs, really high in eggs.
Yeah. So choline is really good for the brain.
Yeah, really good for the brain. Cognitive function, brain health, detoxification.
Yes.
Said so detox, liver health, obviously. General all over health. Choline's really good.
One of the most abundant chemicals in the brain is acetylcholine.
Yeah.
And that just means choline has been acetylized. When you hear acetyl, you think of the brain immediately. So this is really good. So it does innervate some of the nerves in the body. We're doing a podcast, we're recording it probably tomorrow or something, on the vagus nerve, where we're going to talk about acetylcholine a lot. That innervates that. So acetylcholine is great for the nerves and all that sort of stuff.
Interestingly, say for the brain too, Steve. So pregnant women.
Yeah. Not pregnant men.
No, not pregnant men. No, well, maybe pregnant men. If I've ever come across one, they might be able to tell me. They have a lot of choline depletion in more that, particularly in the third trimester. They can deplete a lot of choline because the baby's taking a lot of it up. So, when people say, oh, my God, I've got baby brain, I can't think of anything when I'm pregnant, and then postpartum, it's choline deficiency.
Wow.
So if you increase your choline intake in your third trimester, it can offset that. Baby brain, because you're growing another brain inside you, human being, and the brains are quite huge in humans when they're born. They are.
That's terrible. Now, can it benefit athletes like me?
Yeah, for sure. Helps to delay fatigue.
Yes.
Steve.
Now we're talking. I need that.
So, weightlifters, bodybuilders. Primarily endurance athletes, yes, they can have a little bit of a benefit as well. So it's good as a pre-workout and as helps to burn fat.
God,
that sort of thing.
And there's a type of choline that called alpha GPC.
Yeah.
And the C stands for choline. And if you take enough of that, 600 milligrams, it augments growth hormone release by 44-fold.
Wow, that's good, isn't it?
That's nuts.
That's huge.
When you exercise does 2.8 to 3 on its own. And if you take this acetyl alpha GPC, then that boosts it. So that's quite remarkable. Yeah, and you can take gram dose of this stuff. So, if you take huge dose, it can lower your blood pressure.
And this is one of the ones that can give you that bit of that fishy smell if you take too much of it.
Oh, the TMAO.
Yeah.
Trimethylamine oxidase, yeah.
That's interesting because I do a lot of do a lot of gut testing, and I'm getting a lot back at the moment with high TMAO levels.
Oh.
It's really interesting, yeah. One that was a very high meat-based diet, one that was not. So high TMAO levels. So, so it's just interesting.
It's to do with the microbiome too.
Coline, carnitine, they can drive it up.
Yep. Cool. Now, let's stay on the exercise theme, and I'll hit another amino acid called citrulline.
Yeah.
The hell is that used for?
Citrulline. So, again, muscle gain.
Yep.
It's also good for cardiovascular.
Want it.
You're on it?
I want it.
Oh, you want it?
I want it. I want it.
You're not on it, Steve? Maybe.
I am actually.
Maybe you don't need it.
I take a little bit of
those
it.
muscles.
Can you tell I'm on all the gear?
Oh, totally, Steve.
Rippling muscles here.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's why we never know what Steve puts in his drink bottle when he comes in here. It's always a mystery. It's a mix of stuff. But
it was a mix of stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's like every morning is a mix. We never know what you're going to get. But you always bounce out of here. So.
I know. Well, one was a bouncy one.
Yeah, okay.
And one
was an upper and one was a downer. It's just to even you out.
One was a type of collagen that makes me look beautiful.
Right, Steve.
Just because it was there.
You are such a beauty.
But I don't need that stuff. I'm already gorgeous.
You are beautiful, Steve. You don't need
no wrinkles whatsoever.
No, that's right.
No grey hair, no balding, nothing going on in my...
No, how's that? We haven't got the halo light on today. We don't need it, that's why.
No, we turned it off because it was heating.
It's highlighting there.
Too much.
Highlighting the solar panel?
Solar panel for a sex machine, that's right.
I wasn't going to say that.
No, it's true. It's well, I'm the only baldy here, so I can say that.
That's true.
But citrulline, great for vasodilation.
It is another one. Good for
gives you the pump.
Yeah, that's right.
So a really good one for that, and it's better than arginine for pump because arginine can cause gastric upset. You can take gram dose of this stuff, and it doesn't upset your gut, which is really good.
You know what else? You know where you can get it from in food, Steve?
Where?
Watermelon.
Love it.
I love watermelon.
Watermelon's really good.
We grew watermelons for a little while.
Yeah, and watermelon is great for men to drink because and for lycopene for the prostate, and also L-citrulline for the, and I hate to mention this again, but for your penis.
Okay.
It's good for that too. It increases vasodilation in that area.
Right. Okay. Yeah. If we can focus on the lycopene, because that red, it's in tomatoes, things like that, good for the prostate.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's
good. We won't talk about penises ever again in this podcast, hopefully. But it is good for that.
It is good for erectile dysfunction.
L-citrulline. Yeah. No, there's been studies on it.
Yeah.
So really good. You recommend 6 to 8 grams of citrulline a day, an hour before exercise. If you're taking it on its own, that's a lot. That's a good dose.
Yeah.
That'll give you the pump.
You can take up to 15 grams relatively safely. Obviously, everyone's different, and don't take anything. We're not giving medical advice here, but don't check first. But you can take fairly high doses without any problem.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, no one's died of watermelon toxicity, have they?
Well, no, and I ate, a whole watermelon one day, so...
Did you?
Yes.
Holy macaroni.
We grew our own watermelons. So, and it's very interesting. We'll keep going off topic. I'm sorry, people, if you really just want to know about amino acids, but it's very high in water. Very, very, compared to the ones in the supermarket, super high in water.
Really?
So juicy. But yeah, I managed to eat the whole thing.
Is it sweet tasting and everything?
It wasn't as sweet as the ones in the shops because it was a bit more white, a bit more pale.
Right.
So I didn't have as high sugar content. We probably didn't leave it in the ground, leave it on top of the ground long enough.
Geez, you mustn't have any prostate problems.
No, I actually have 0 prostate problems, Steve, so there you go.
There you go.
It works.
Very interesting. All right, now we're getting on to one of my favourites here. We're into the seas.
This is everyone's favourite, isn't it?
It's called, I almost scored some free stuff today of this stuff.
Did you?
Almost.
Oh, where was I when that was happening?
No, you were. I said bring it around to us.
Oh, right, okay.
But it's called creatine. Now we make creatine here. There's no secret of that.
Yeah.
But creatine is an amazing amino acid for exercise. But what else can you tell me about it?
Oh my goodness! Go back and listen to the podcast we did on creatine. So many things: brain health, bone health, methylation. Energy, just so many things.
And at the gym, when you're pumping out that last rep, it can give you at least one more rep because creatine makes ATP basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's ATP on the bottom. So ATP is energy, basically stored energy, and you can pump out thing and absolutely incredible. So where's creatine found?
Well, mainly meats, animal proteins, eggs, meat, fish.
Yep.
Yeah, so I highly recommend creatine for everybody, and particularly, postmenopausal women, really good. But outside of the muscle building, what it does for muscle building, it just has so many other health benefits.
Oh, it's amazing.
That I recommend creatine to a lot of people.
Yeah, we recommend about 3 to 5 grams before exercise about an hour. There's this conjecture of when to take it, like you can take it after, whatever, but before exercise, I think is important.
I think it's good, and everyone can play around with it and see what works for them. But I find, for me personally, if I take it before, I really do work better. I have a better workout.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
Smash it out.
Yeah, and if I'm not training, I still take it because I take it for the other health benefits as well.
Oh,
so
it's
days I'm not training.
incredibly important. But I think this has to go into part two. We've got some really good ones.
So this would be good for an extra.
In part two, we're going to talk about this thing called glycine.
Oh, are we still recording? Sorry. I was just like relaxing.
That's why I'm talking like a newsreader now, you know.
Take my glasses off. Cool lunchtime, ready to go.
Well.
No, okay, yes. So part two, people. We are
we're coming back for part two.
We're coming back for part two.
I think someone needs a nap here.
I need a break, yeah.
I think you need some glutamine too. All right, let's get some glutamine. Part two is coming. We're going to talk about all the other amino acids.
Yeah, all my faves. Inositol, taurine. We're going to go into those. So they're my favourite ones. Yeah. So.
All right, we'll see you at part two.
Yeah. Nine essential amino acids. Sorry.
You're crying.
I'm just sleep deprived. Maybe that's part of it.
I love how you cry over amino acids.
I love amino acids. I get very passionate about it. Sorry. Yeah. So we're going so
I've got
well.
the list here.
No, but I'm like, it's not. All right.
The essential ones. We'll start with those. I know, it's a funny question, isn't it?
I'm sorry.
Crying now. Ask her about amino acids and she cries.
Sorry.
Is that funny?
I know.
All right.
Okay, hang on, wait. That's okay.
So, look at your eyes.
Sorry.
I didn't.
I've still got crying. Yes. Don't know why.
Oh, my God. Four.
I don't know.
What? Oh. Okay.
Sorry, we'll cut this bit out. Each page. Oh, are we still recording? Sorry. I was just like relaxing.
That's why I'm talking like a newsreader now.
Oh my God.
You can see it starting to slide at the
I
end.
look like an idiot in this one.